After the American Revolution, the colonies became the first states of the United States of America. The country built a new capital city called Washington and created a special capital district called the District of Columbia, D.C. for short. Congress became one of the three branches of government of this new country. Its members represented their states. They also had to decide what to do with all the land that wasn't inside the states. Congress passed laws that organized that large area into territories. The laws included rules on how new states could join the Union. The nation grows westward. The United States grew in size and power. It bought a large amount of land from France in 1803. This was called the Louisiana Purchase. In 1819, it acquired all of Florida. In time, U.S. territory stretched from coast to coast across North America. This map shows how American territory grew over time. The colors on the map show different areas bought or won by the United States. The labels on the maps tell you which year the United States took control of the different areas. The nation divides over slavery. While the new nation was growing, its people were dividing. The southern states, the South, and the northern states, the North, were arguing about slaves. In the South, Americans used slaves from Africa to do the work. The slaves had no rights. They were bought and sold like cattle. They were beaten and sometimes starved or worked to death. In the North, slavery was not allowed. In the western states and territories, slavery was allowed in some places but not in others. The nation could not agree about slavery. In 1855, slavery and anti-slavery groups began to fight. Southerners talked about leaving the Union. The nation moved toward war with itself, a civil war. The Civil War. Civil war means a war where people within a country fight each other. If you are a refugee, you may come from a nation where there has been civil war. You will know these wars can be long and terrible. The American Civil War started when some southern states left the Union and declared that they were part of a new country called the Confederate States of America. The war began in 1861 and lasted until 1865. Many events, battles, and people were involved in this war, but you do not need to memorize them. You do need to know that the Civil War was one of the most important events in American history. The slaves are freed. In the middle of the Civil War, an important event took place. In September 1862, President Abraham Lincoln announced on January 1, 1863, slaves in the South would be free. This is known as the Emancipation Proclamation. This map uses a color key to show us which states and territories took which side in the Civil War. Border states were states that had slaves but decided to stay in the Union anyway. You will learn more about how to use a map's color key later. Courtesy of the Cartographic Research Laboratory, University of Alabama, and Robert J. Norrell. Remember these important facts about how the Civil War started, and you'll be ready for your GED Social Studies exam. Happy studying!